This is Miss DeAngelis with your skills lesson today. Let's take a look at what we're going to learn about. We will read words spelt with C that have the k and s sound and sort words based on the sound for C. We will answer 5 questions about an event that happened to the whole class and write a narrative. Let's take a look at this little graph here. In the middle, you see the letter C. The arrow that is pointing to 1, you see cat, cop, and cup. The spellings with C pronounced on this side sounds like K, like K in these words. If we look at the other side with the 2 over the arrow, we have the words scent, pencil, and cell. These spellings of C are pronounced as S rather than K. This could be a tricky spelling because it could be pronounced more than one way. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over some words and word sort them. All right. So if it has the K sound, you're going to touch your nose. And if it makes the S sound, you're going to touch your head. Let's go over our word bank. We have the word could, sell, close, center, fact, dancer, catch, and bouncing. Where does could go on the chart? You're going to touch your nose for the K sound or the S sound. Right, if you're touching your nose, ding, 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 you're correct. Where does the word sell go? If it sounds like a K, you're touching your nose, and if it sounds like a S, you're touching your head. Ding, ding, ding. If you said sell makes the S sound and you're touching your head, you're correct. Let's look at the word close. If it makes the K sound, touch your nose. If it makes a S sound, touch your head. Ding, ding, ding. If you're touching your nose, you're correct. Let's look at the word center. If it makes the K sound, touch your nose. If it makes the S sound, touch your head. Ding, ding, ding. If you said the S sound and you were touching your head, you're correct. Now let's look at the word fact. Fact. If it makes the K sound, touch your nose. If it makes the S sound, touch your head. Ding, ding, ding. If you said the K sound and you're touching your nose, you're correct. Let's look at the word dancer. If it makes the K sound, touch your nose. If it makes the S sound, touch your head. Ding, ding, ding. If you said the S sound and we're touching your head, you're correct. Let's look at the word catch. If it makes the K sound, touch your nose. If it makes the S sound, touch your head. Ding, ding, ding. If you're touching your nose, you're correct. And last one. The word bouncing. If it makes the K sound, touch your nose. If it makes a S sound, touch your head. Ding, ding, ding. If you said the S sound and you're touching your head, open your book to this paper. You need to write your name and date on the top, just like I did. What we're going to do here is we're going to sound out the words with the lines under them. If the C sounds like a K, as in cat, or an S, as in scent, we're going to write the words where they fit best. If you need to pause your video to write, make sure you do so, okay? Number 1, she is a good dancer. Does the C in dancer sound like K or S? Right, it sounds like S. Number 2, it's time to get in the car. Does the C in car sound like K or S? Right, it sounds like K, like K. That kite you have is so cool. Does the C in cool sound like K or S? Right, it sounds like K. Number 4, set it down in the center of the room. Does the C in center sound like K or S? You got it. It sounds like S. Number 5, we had crabs for lunch. Does the C in crab sound like K or S? Right, it sounds like K, K. Number 6, he gave me a lot of choices. This word's a little tricky because where they underlined it, the C was towards the end. Because remember, CH says ch, so that makes a whole different sound. So if we're looking at the word choices, what sound do you hear at the C at the end, a K or S? Right, you hear the S sound. Number 7, look up there. See that big cloud? What does cloud sound like, K or S? Good job, sounds like K. Pause your video here if you need time to write. Now we're going to review the writing process. We're going to start planning a personal narrative. So let's take a look at what we're supposed to do first. The first step is to plan, then to draft, then to edit. And we also have the 5 W questions again. Do you remember what they are? Right. Who, what, when, where, and why? These are questions we have to answer in a personal narrative. Today we're going to work together to create a personal narrative. This is going to be a little bit different because we're going to write a personal narrative as something we've done for the whole class. So the name of our tale is going to be A Trip to Fort Ricky. You're going to take out a blank piece of paper to write this because you don't have a copy of this. Pause the video if you need time to write. Who? So you're going to write your teacher's name, whether it be Miss D, Miss Cavo, or Miss Shibley. Your classmates are on the trip with you, and I, who is you, the narrator. Where and when? Well, we went to Fort Ricky. It is in Rome, New York. And when we went was in September of 2019. Now we're going to write what happened first, in the middle, and then at the end. So at first, we got off the bus and the zookeepers told us the rules. Then, my friends and I were able to explore the zoo. We also got to pet and hold baby goats. At the end, we were able to play in the big ball pit and jungle gym. We had fun. Make sure you're pausing your video to take time to write. Usually, when you write a personal narrative, it is not usually written like the one we have drafted. We make this one like an example. Most of the time, the narrator, which would be you, will be describing a story that happened to you and is more specific. Great job today, guys. Make sure you send a picture of your work to your teacher. And I will see you tomorrow.